All right, guys, what's going on? Damn, nigga, you got me in the background.
Yeah. God damn. Came in on 10. Damn, you always do that. Every time you come in on the
Oh
intro,
shit!
come in 10 times louder than you need.
Damn, I ain't think I pushed my mic that hard. Hold on, let's
Yes,
just
you
put the
did.
gain a little
Yes.
bit down. Is this a
Drop
bit
drop it
better?
about about four octaves.
Four
And we
octave.
good.
Is this good?
That's perfect.
Okay,
That's
okay, okay,
perfect.
good, good, good. Let me continue to mess with it now. All right, welcome to the very first episode of the Freestyle podcast. We featuring D-Money. D-Money was actually the very first person I went to before I, deleted all my channel and all the other shit. But we don't talk about that. What we're talking about right now, we're gonna talk about the most recent events. We're gonna have D-Money's input, including my own, and I don't know how long this recording is gonna be, but it's gonna be a nice conversation. So D-Money, how you been, man?
Yo,
Holy shit.
can't complain, can't complain. Been another day, another dollar. Still dealing with this threes foolishness as usual, but we're gonna get through it. We're gonna get through it.
So we're going to start off small here. We're not gonna push anything to the limit so quickly. First off, we're gonna start with Ampan. Then we are gonna be talking about the balance patch. Then we're gonna talk about what's next for threes, and obviously D-Money's gonna have his own little show up, for what he thinks about his own characters and have they done well, have they treated them right, and all this other stuff. So for starters, Ampan, this whole collaboration event that just happened that ended like what, almost like
A
3-4 days
week and some
ago.
change, something
Yeah,
like that. Yeah, sounds
yeah,
about
they'll
right.
some change, some shit like that. Um, I don't really know how I feel about it. Not in the terms of like it's not good for the game or something, right? A collab would always mean more players coming in, but
Mm-hmm.
we have not. It's interesting. It's treated the same way like it's Professor, and
Yeah.
when Professor done the collab, there was actually something that promoted the game, not only because of the trailer. Like if you could actually find it on his social media, it like a form of announcement or something like that. But that was it.
Mm-hmm.
Within this whole
Mm-hmm.
Ampan thing, I didn't see much. I just seen more on joycity's end, talking about the behind the scenes with Ampan, the
Mm-hmm.
15-year-old, 16-year-old, however old she is, and I don't know. This doesn't really feel like it moved the goalpost in any form. It just kind
Mm-hmm.
of feels like she was there just to put there, and especially too when we're thinking about freestyle basketball or just street basketball in general. You
Mm-hmm.
know, everybody was making guesses about who it could be, right? Like it has to be somebody relevant in the terms of like, whoa, this could potentially be a good thing. But we're bringing in somebody that nobody ever heard of. Shit, somebody pointed out Millie, who is a Thai rapper before anybody thought about Ampan, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm just I don't know. I think this is just like more of a small gesture and maybe like a future plan of some sort, but I don't think
Mm-hmm.
this really moves the game forward in any terms. What do you think?
I would say, well, not for us, because I would say this was. I think this was more so a move for them, and when I say them, I mean Joy, as in Korea, because she's a rapper from there. So it's not saying that we don't need some promotion in the U.S. per se, but we are their biggest base.
Mm-hmm.
And if I don't know when the last time you've been on, I'm sure you've been on Asia server at some point. It's hardly nobody over there. So if anything, I think it was more advertisement for them to get their numbers up on their side, trying to generate some revenue from their side versus just having one major stream of revenue over here.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was more catered towards them. The only downside to it, well, I wouldn't say it was a downside for us necessarily, because it did pique my interest. I kind of, went looking through their catalog. I wanted to know who it was. Once I found out who it was, I watched a few of their music videos. Come to find out, the music was always in the game for, I want to say, what, like a few months now.
Damn.
Which didn't even realize it. I was like, oh, that's dope. But the only thing I didn't like is it made me just kind of upset me a little bit because Professor never got his P6. That's the only thing that I was upset about. But I'm not mad at them for putting a homegrown character in a game to try to boost the numbers for their home crowd, which honestly I think that was the reason for them doing it.
Now, something
I
like
don't
that,
think.
I can understand, right? And
Mhm.
even with the whole professor term, right? Like, yeah, like that's pretty bad. Professor doesn't get a P6, P7, but then a brand new collaboration character does. But I could also see why it never happened, because when you're thinking about P6 and then obviously the 3 years in of P7, it was never a thing during the time of, the game being launched and all this other stuff. So it does seem to be like the plan for it was like not only for, as you mentioned, maybe the promotional aspect on that part of the demographic for the community, and a lot of other Asians to potentially come in and wipe the servers, whatever. But
Mhm.
obviously you could tell the P6, P7 was for a money thing. Like
Of
let's be
course,
honest for that one. Like,
of course.
because even if she just released the way she released, like I would even still think a possibility like down the line she would even catch a P6, P7, right? Like treat her
Mhm.
the same way like it was Professor, and then probably come back for like another collaboration into, brand new outfit, different audio that they could piece together, and leave it at that. But the fact that she got in a P6, P7 day one, which was kind of like my theory, but I led more towards Professor just based off of his history and into the game itself. So that's where, I could totally see what you mean by like, try to reach more players on that end, knowing that we are on the bigger side. Um,
Mhm.
but the disappointing fact is like, yo, that's kind of fucked up. Professor ain't. Like that man
But
is gone officially.
but you also got to look at it from like if you look at it from a business standpoint for if and I'm just taking a guess. I'm thinking what happened is whatever arrangement they had with Professor, I'm sure that contract ran up years ago.
Yeah.
Like we talking about what this game was 7 years old. I'm more than sure whatever contract obligations Joy and Professor had, I'm sure that contract ended years ago. So in order for him to get his P6, P7, they probably was going to have to reach back out to him. Hey, and more money. So it was like, you know what? Let's just go ahead. Let's cut a new deal with somebody else,
Hmm.
and we don't have to. We can basically pay her the same thing that we paid him instead of trying to renegotiate for him to get a new P6, P7,
Yep.
or what have you. It's essentially like outsourcing, I guess, if you really think about it.
Yeah.
Like I'm not necessarily mad at them for what they did. I just like I say, it just really makes me wish like damn, he could have got something. But again, they're gonna have to come back to the negotiating table. More money's gonna have to be shelled out for using his name, image and likeness and whatnot. And then I mean, the US is a capitalistic country.
Mm,
So ain't no telling what that bag gonna look like. And it just may be out of joycity's pay range.
yeah. Um, I don't really have much to say about it. Like Donald, like she's solid. She kind of meets the standard for what threes are, purpose wise. But um,
She's a solid character. Now I will say this one other thing. The only the thing that when though like for those who don't have, it's unfortunate because those who don't have the ultimate edition
hmm,
will never can they still have to purchase pan
yeah,
because that all-star pack, it's in the description. Someone asked me that under my conversation. I was like,
same.
no, you're not. It's it like you got to read that fine print on these packages. Like it
Hmm.
tells you in there, you do not get the what they're called, the collab characters.
Or
That
limited
pack does
time
not
characters.
include collab characters. You get all any regular character or new character you get, but the collab, anything that's labeled under collab, you will not get.
Yep.
So unfortunately, everybody didn't get the experience pan the way we did.
Yeah, but I don't think they're missing out on anything. I mean, she's not anything
Eh,
crazy.
I mean, it just depends. I don't think she's anything too crazy. I think as a character, she's solid.
Yeah.
I would say you can argue top five in the point guards. Like she's not a bad character by any means. She gives you a little bit of everything. Her passive is really good once it kicks in.
Hmm.
She has like this little anti-steal thing to her kit.
Which doesn't really work because I don't know if they need to
It,
buff
it
that or not.
I think she probably won't get a buff, and I think the main reason why is like because once her meter fills up, it's another buff on top of that buff as well.
Yeah.
So I don't think because then they was like, all right, that's just too much. That's going to be too many buffs that she's going to be stacking. That's just going to make her shooting just ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I think overall I think she's just a better version of Ginger. She's a really good character. She has some defense to her. Nothing crazy, but you can work with her.
Really,
Like,
I was thinking
you
of
can,
2.0
you can
Carolina.
take a lineup of. I see it, but to me personally, I don't know. I guess that's just how you play her.
Yeah.
Like she has way more playmaking ability than a Carolina does, which is why I like her. Like she's not the type of character that I would just like I'm a main because
Yep.
I like my characters to be a little bit more two-way, which she doesn't really feel like a two-way.
Yep.
She feels more like a playmaker that has a little bit of defense capability, which not necessarily my style, but I don't think she's a bad character at all. Like she's definitely somebody that you can kind of cheese the meta with, especially with that floater. You get that maxed out, you can do some damage with that.
Oh yeah, that floater is pretty balanced. I don't think that I don't think they're ever gonna touch on that floater because it doesn't.
I don't think she needs to be touched at all.
Yeah.
And I think as far as like stat wise, the skills are cool. Everything they got about it, and especially after this patch, because I think she has like a really high mid range to begin with. Like
What was it?
I think it's in the 200s if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, two. Yeah, it's about like 204.
Oh yeah, she's solid. She's solid. I think the hardest decision most people are gonna have is just what P6 to put on her.
I think I went with Shadow Steel. I think Quick Jumper kind of defeats the. I mean, like another option to put the ball in the hoop, but I think Quick Jumper kind of defeats the purpose. For me at least, I already told you I don't recommend anyone to run Ampan unless you're gonna, you know, toss $1 or two into that bitch. But it's just based off the fact of like everything revolves around her dribbling. It's the floater, it's the pull up jumper. Like pretty much everything at that point with the additions of
which is why she's not too OP because it's everything that she does is readable.
yeah
But at the same time, you still got to be able to block it.
yeah.
So
And
like her floater's good, but it's not. It on top of that, then if you do the fake floater into the layup, that shit is cheese like crazy.
yeah,
I've seen people get cooked with the fake floater into the layup. I've got cooked by it. I'm like, all right, I got this time. I'm about to catch this, and then whoop right up under it in for a layup. I'm like, all right, you bitch,
yeah.
you got it,
Or the flake
you
floater
got it.
into a shot, especially on top of a freestyle. That's what
And
like
then I went with quick release just because it's funny because people do not expect a mid range quick release. That was the main reason why I went with it. Nobody expects that.
I think she has a. I don't know. I have her at 4. That's me. It's more of because, as I said, like she she meets some requirements that you would want if we're talking about dash intercept. If we're talking about her passive. If we're talking about the stats that she have, right? Like, and also with like a solid P6, you could debate on the P7 in some terms. But it's just more of like with Pedro, you have to. He's a force of a P6, P7 to get him back originally before he caught his nerf. You could debate between her and Helena, but how I go about it is like the usage rate between those two characters of Helena and Pedro has, has fallen off considerably just in terms because of Kaji, still how Clara is, still with
Of
Janessa,
course.
and now you could throw in that rotation because of Ampan. Of course, people aren't strong on Ampan, which is understandably so, but I think Ampan being more favorable versus Pedro and Helena. And obviously you
Yeah.
see Little Fox, that thug
Yeah.
ass nigga officially dead. You know what I mean?
They
So
they
now,
they killed that last patch killed Lil Fox. I'm so hurt by that. But I would
yeah,
say she really feels like a custom character. That's exactly what Pan feels like. It feels like somebody just like if they actually had her create a character, somebody would actually create Pan. That's exactly what she feels like.
yeah,
Like she's not a bad. She just feels like they just took a character and like, all right, I want to create a character. I want this skill. I want this skill. I want this, and this, and there you go. That's what she feels like a whole custom character that somebody just created.
I wonder if she picked her skills. You
Oh,
gotta
that's a
wonder
good
that.
question. I do.
Yeah, because ain't no way.
Like,
Did they
cause
chose
that's what I'm
fancy
saying.
dribbling because she's a dancer and a
That's
rapper and
what it
stuff,
feels
or
like. If somebody picked these skills, like it feels like if you could do a pick up, like create a character, that's exactly what you get. Like I can see someone literally that plays this game on a regular creating this character.
yeah.
Like, all right, I'm gonna create this little short girl. I'm gonna give her fancy dribble. I got to give her something defensively OP. Let me go with dash intercept.
Mm-hmm.
What else can I put on her? Let me go with pull up. what can I cheese? Let me go with floater, but I want a new floater. Like
Yeah.
that's exactly what it feels like.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. We'll kind of see down the line.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's complete. We'll see what changes. Hopefully, nothing really changes. But let's get into the next topic. So the next topic is obviously the balance patch,
Mm.
where we are officially seeing. You could potentially say some older characters, the free to play ones, on top of existing premium characters taking advantage of this. Right. One example is
Mm-hmm.
Jenna, one of the worst shooting guards in the game.
Mm-hmm.
But within this patch, she looks like she's a top five, right? You could probably
Mm-hmm.
argue top three in some cases, but kind of depends on how things shift. Um, I don't think they should fix defense. I think for what it's worth,
Okay.
I look,
Okay.
look, look.
Okay.
I don't think they should fix
I see how
defense.
this conversation gonna go already.
I think, I think for what it's worth, it started with uh, did it start with Jenna or Johnny G or Janessa? I mean, I think it started with no, Johnny G was first, then it became Janessa, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, so it started with Johnny G, and we all know how that went down for on months, and everything became niche. Johnny G was probably the piece of the biggest puzzle of them all to say we're gonna really move the goalpost and just be running defensive characters, and then knowing how dominant Lou and Jack were still at the end of the day, and on top of the fact of shooting guards not being much of anything, this was a strong case to not really run characters that you would usually run, right? And this is what tend to kill characters, right? Like a lot of people who are Howl users switched off and became Giant G. Same thing with Fox
Mm-hmm.
users. You weren't gonna beat Giant G unless you were Giant G. You weren't gonna
Mm-hmm.
beat Giant G with Blair. You weren't gonna beat Giant G with Murdoch. Like even with Murdoch up to this point, but you weren't gonna beat a lot of these characters weren't gonna beat Giant G in these terms. On top of knowing that Lou and Jack has forthcome into what they are now. I do believe the recent of last year's balance patch, the biggest nerf that we received when it came to blind D, when it came to fingertip block, dash, steal, and dash intercept, again, obviously. Um, I I don't feel like that was the nail in the coffin because we we're still treating these characters the same way before we just see what just happened recently, which was a month ago with this balance patch. And
Mm-hmm.
now, after what, 3-ish, 4 years almost in of completely destroying defense, it does seem to be this is our chance to take advantage of what's going on. Where Imped, this is one thing I always say, we got to remember Imped was never nerfed. They just made it to where as your stats mattered a lot more,
Yeah,
right?
and I hate when
Now,
people say Impeg got nerfed. No, it didn't. They never touched Impeg.
yeah,
Impeg is
exactly.
still the
With
same. They never touched it.
yeah, bro. Like if you reread through the patches, it doesn't say that at all. But
Exactly.
I do believe that they need to figure out at least, and if they don't figure out, I think that's fine as well. But I do believe if they need to figure out how to balance it in some form, because now a lot of people are confident into taking crazier contested shots, right? You're
Mm-hmm.
seeing Jenna's one hand shot going in a lot more, maybe not consistently, but you are seeing it a lot more. Even
Mm-hmm.
with the nerf of Sham God again, which didn't make no sense, even with those two, you're seeing the same scope. But I also believe there's more positive than it is a negative because now we're getting to see a lot more offensive characters come back to light. Of course, some characters are still ass like Walker. Nobody's like Walker's not taking advantage of this. But for a lot of balanced characters or offensive characters, you could name a couple that is coming right back into the race. And I think that's the most important of them all because if we're going to continue to push more and more characters, I would love to see more and more characters, existing characters, I should say, be relevant and be available to people's liking and to the form of what we can do offensively. I think, like as some people mentioned, like with fingertip block as an example, people don't like the fact of that they don't know what happened. We don't know if that's been shadow nerfed or not, or joycity did something, but fingertip block is not connecting per usual. I think
Mm-hmm.
for what it's worth, take it from the sweats. Yo, it's all about skill. Okay, cool. So take some of that skill, put it right on your ass, and use fingertip block properly. The same thing how you have to use blind D strategically. Use it strategically. Same thing when it comes to dash, intercept, and maybe not dash steal, but dash intercept, right? Based
Mm-hmm.
off all timing. It's always been like that. So I think this does change gameplay overall, where this does create an opening for a lot of players, not only existing players, but for new players as well, because you don't want to discourage them knowing that they're far behind and they have to play catch up if they're not going to spend some money or grind all day. But I like for a rating for this balance patch, I have to give it like a good 8 out of 10. I'm sorry. I think that's what it's worth. Because even if we talk about, well, we're gonna have to run certain characters defensively, I mean that's fine based off of how confident people are when taking these shots or scoring inside or shooting so deep from three, right? So
Mm-hmm.
for me, I have to give it a good 8 out of 10.
Mm. Okay. I respect your 8 out of 10. However, I feel like you got a little bit too much dip on your chip. Just a little bit too much dip on your chip. I think you're giving this patch way too much credit. I will say this. I'm not saying that an adjustment or a balance wasn't needed because it definitely wasn't.
Yes.
I still think an adjustment is needed. My issue with it is the past three major balance patches that we have gotten have been strictly for shooting guards. This last one in particular, yeah, it buffed a decent amount of the shooting guards, but at the same time, you've basically nerfed by proxy, you've nerfed a lot of characters that people just probably don't realize got nerfed.
Yeah.
You nerfed any small forward that doesn't have a mid range shot over 200.
Mm-hmm.
You've nerfed them. I've noticed that just playing Carter. Now, granted, I know Carter is not exactly the best small forward. Look, I like playing Carter. That's
Yeah,
just me
but
personally.
yeah, based off his
But I
range.
will say Carter has a 191 mid range. I have a really good mid range built Carter, and I am on stream bricking wide open mids on a mid range character with a mid range build. But you got Jenna's and every other shooting guard can constantly chuck up half court face shots over imped. But my characters are suffering. You've basically you've killed Lil Fox, and I had high praise for Lil Fox. You
The
basically nerfed Lil Fox to the ground. Like I've always been a Lil Fox stan. Like you couldn't tell me. Like I know there was always this argument I used to have with people that people say that Cindy was better than Lil Fox. Now I call them out every fucking time. Come see me. Come see me. Get in a match. Come see me. Bring your Cindy. I'm gonna bring my Lil Fox, and I promise you, you won't score 10 points. And I would clamp them the fuck up because Fox is just that legit. People just don't build them right. You have to put imped. Like my thing is if a character has blind defense, why not invest in it? Run imped, put an imped pad on them, and let's see what your Cindy can do. That little passive that Cindy has, where she gets success rate off of from
off of
running
going
against
against a
point
point
guards,
guard or
that shit gonna
losing.
be null and void.
Yep.
It's gonna be null and void. It won't be shit you can do to stop my little Fox because I'm gonna spam layups on you all goddamn day.
Yep.
And it won't be nothing you can do. Now I cannot make that same argument because by proxy you have just buffed Cindy and you have nerfed Fox to the ground, even with him having his P7 because you put no imped in his trees whatsoever. You gave him no perimeter defense, a perimeter defender You don't give him nothing on imped. Like, I expected to see at least 2% imped somewhere in one of his trees.
Yeah.
The only tree that gives him imped is his pass tree. And it's only 1%. I was like, what is nobody's going to pick a pass tree on any of these characters. On none of these characters, it doesn't make sense to go to P7 your character and then I'm gonna max out his pass tree. That doesn't make sense. He has one of the highest passing stats for a point guard. It's like 220, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. On top of that, I have a really good mid-range jack. He's breaking open mids because I don't think his mid-range is super high. My bagman is more consistent because his mid-range is. So from what I've noticed, if what they're making you do, especially like if you like to build your characters as like more two-way style, like I don't run a stat. The only stat that I look for my ice cream, 9 times out of 10 is jump shot block.
Oh yeah, most definitely. That's something we all should go.
They're making it to where you're going to have to sacrifice that and run a 3-point stat card if you want to be more consistent with your shoot. And I don't like that. I think what this patch did, it basically is all it's doing is promoting bad shot selections by people that want to main Ox Queens and Jenna. And you already know I can't stand Ox Queen. I can't stand Ox Queen mains because they've been giving them all the buffs in the world. They've never nerfed Ox Queen. Jenna's not going to get a nerf. I already know that's coming. So I know
no, she's already bad as it is. She ain't going to get no nerf.
Jenna's not getting a nerf. On top of that her little shot, whatever that little pump fake thing, that shit is cheese all goddamn day. And she can face shoot off that. You don't even have to have a crack build and she's face shooting off that. I just personally don't believe you basically made it to where you made face shooting a thing again. And I think that is terrible for the game. I really do. You should not be able to just consistently face shoot threes over anybody. Like, regardless if they run imped or not. Like, it's like if you jump, they're still making it. Like, nobody should be able to shoot over me. And it's like you sitting there and say, well, play better D-Dog. They give shooting guards all the best buffs in the world. You can run all types of drive speed. You can run all types of 3-point success. You can run all types of distance on the top 3 shooting guards on here. It has nothing to do with people not being able to play defense. I can play all the defense in the world on you. You still get the shot off. I give you a really good contested shot. Only reason why I don't get the block is because my jump shot 50. But then you telling me I gotta play better defense for people who just face shooting over me. I'm right there in your and you just constantly face shooting on me. But I have the skill issue. Like, no, I'm not a big fan of this. Like, I am not a big fan of this patch. What they did, and a lot of people not really, and that's why I'm so ready for this tournament, because what a lot of people are not understand. What I want to see is because I'm more than sure there's going to be jacks in this tournament. I'm more than sure there's going to be some Lus. There's going to be a lot of mid-range forwards in this tournament, and a lot of those small forwards got nerfed. And I want to see if screen meta, that 2-point pillar screen meta, is still going to work in this tourney. That's what I'm looking forward to see. Because it's not the same. It is a noticeable difference. Like, I shouldn't have to. Now, I will say this. Now, a maxed out imped Lu is still doing damage out here. Imped is still good on her, but it's still a noticeable difference. It's still a noticeable difference. Personally, I'm not a fan of it because, like I said, you're basically you're trying to make shooting guards better, but you just basically nerfed half the roster to do so. Pedro ain't as good. Who else? I'm trying to think. Faye don't feel right. She feels off. Like, it's a lot of characters. They just don't feel the same, all just for the sake of, because people want to just be able to face shoot all day. Like, dude, get open. Like, they saying, I got the skill. No, I think they have the skill issue. Like, if you don't like people running imped, then get open. Do a crossover behind the screen. That still works. It is not my fault You can't get me off you, even though they give you all the drivers. Like I'm just personally, I'm not a fan of it. I think what they should have did as far as like I don't know. It's a lot of ways the balance patch could have went. I still think Giant G. I think the only way to really nerf Giant G is probably just lower his stats. I would have been fine if they just lowered his stats a little bit. I mean, some people saying they need to lower his success rate on his dunk. I mean, you can. I didn't think the Sienna nerf was necessary. That shit was just
I said
stupid.
the exact same
That
fucking thing, and I
that
said this
shit was
because of
stupid.
so many, like, out of all, like, when you look at the center position, like, let's be real for a moment. Blair
Mm-hmm.
had her own, like, she had her own shining day, right? For
Mm-hmm.
however long it was until
For a
Giant G
minute.
came out. Yeah,
For a minute.
yeah, for a minute, and then afterwards, it just felt like, well, damn, all of these power forwards, and then we're watching Howe stay the same. He ain't catch a P6, P7. Like there's no real wave for centers. But when Sienna comes out, everybody was not high on her. Everybody thought she was trash, and then say like obviously the most bailout thing was gonna be what was her
Anyone that
stunt.
says Seattle, they don't know. They didn't know what they was talking about.
Yeah, exactly. Until
They
the
just didn't
whole
know what they was talking
goalpost
about.
move, and now we're like, yo, we gotta nerf Sienna. I'm like, how the fuck we want to nerf Sienna before we nerf the damn monkey? What?
And
That
they won't
doesn't
touch
make
Ox
any
Queen.
sense.
They
You
won't
you
touch
you
Ox Queen.
you lost me, bro. Like you lost me, right? Like during the time of joycity releasing characters, we seen Dash still got nerfed. No, Dash still was broken. Then they buffed it.
Mm-hmm.
Then they balanced it
Mm-hmm.
out. And yeah, people
Mm-hmm.
still talking about it being busted based off of percentages and stuff like that. Still being able to get 6 to 7, 8 steals a game, or every other game, or every third of a game, whatever, right? And it's
Mm.
just like, bruh, like I officially found my piece. Like I officially found the character that I want to run.
Exactly. Like there's no other center that I love running. It's Sienna.
Yeah, yeah,
And I keep telling people when joycity comes out with a new character at a position, that character is going to counter the previous character.
yeah.
That is what they do. Every character that they come out with, whether they become meta or not, they are designed to counter the previous character. That is what they do. That's what all these 3on3 Freestyle is a gotcha game. That is what all these games do.
Yeah.
They're going to come out with a character that's better than the previous character. That's what they always do. So guess what the next center is going to do whenever it's time for them? It's going to counter Diana in some type of way.
And not only that too, centers was like what, ranked maybe like fourth or dead last in the terms of quality when it came to characters. If you can
They were
debate
slept on.
between point guard and small forward, taking that number one spot,
Mm-hmm.
then you probably say like power forward third, even with Giant G, Fox, and just Murdoch. Then you're looking at centers. Bro, there's nobody on there that I really want to rock, knowing how dominant other positions are. It's the same viewpoint when it came to shooting guards. If you're not Ox, if you're not Ren in some cases, or Yuna in some
No,
cases,
doesn't
everybody
even
else
matter
is
who you run.
trash, garbage, fodder. You're not running it. So how can we want center actually get a dominant character that's probably going to be dominant for a pretty long time, even after this nerf, or after the nerf, I should say? Then
Mm-hmm.
somehow we want to dial it down. But then everybody want to be running Janessas and Nathans and Jacks and goddamn, well, still running Ox Queen up to this point, with on top of Giant G with Fox and Murdoch, right? Like you're not gonna name nobody at center that's gonna be as dominant as those other characters if it's not Sienna.
Mm-mm. Like I said, now I truly believe when it comes to Sienna, the people who had a problem with Sienna, that's a skill issue. Because I don't have a problem with Sienna.
Me
When
neither.
I'm running against Sienna's, I didn't have a problem with Sienna.
Yeah.
I ain't saying you necessarily got to tweak your build but I normally build my builds are normally geared towards how can I maximize what my character does. So I run max balance on Sienna.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell people this all the time. Like there's a counter to everything on the game. You know, for Sienna, you run centers that have a high. There are centers that have like over 200 balance.
Yeah.
That you don't have to run balance P buffs for. Now I get it because I remember I had this conversation with Mountain. He was like, I shouldn't have to switch my P buffs around to counter. I'm like, you don't have to, because I'm like, there are centers who have a lot of balance
I told him the
that will
exact
not
same
lose.
thing.
That things like that won't lose. Like run Jimmy. Like Jimmy, like dude, it's all. It takes me literally an entire match to
Oh, you
like.
kind of cut out there.
It just doesn't happen. It
Yeah.
doesn't happen. I'm like actively trying to get Jimmy to drop this, and he doesn't. He just does. Like that's all you have to do. How is a counter to it? How is strong? Who else? Big Joe. Like just run the bigger bigs. She is designed to literally bully Blair, because Blair has virtually no balance. Like Blair balance like
Yeah.
what 160, 170. She gonna lose it every time. She gonna lose it every time. And on top of that, if you're small, stay out of the paint.
Exactly.
That's also a counter. Stay out of the paint.
Exactly.
Why
Why are people who are point guard to small forward trying to get a fucking board? You do not have the balance for it, bro. Let the big handle it.
I can see if the ball is like if I'm on and even then, stay out of the paint. You're losing the ball because you don't have the IQ. That is a skill issue. Tiana is not an issue. Y'all have a skill issue. That is all IQ. That is all IQ. Everything on here, like that's literally what it is. Y'all just don't have the IQ to counter the stuff.
Yeah.
That's it. You don't have to run balanced P buffs. Just run a character that has a lot of balance. Giant G has a lot of balance. You could just run the gorilla.
Even though he
He's not
shouldn't.
gonna drop it as much. Even though you shouldn't exactly. But still, if you run him, he's not gonna drop the ball like talking about. And on top of that, if you're small and you constantly get caught earthquake, that just should tell you something. Stay your goofy ass out the paint. You know about her range is too big. No, her range is just fine. You just need to paint. Stay out of the paint, you wouldn't have those problems. I want to say, since Sienna's been out, I can literally count on one hand how many times to someone running Sienna. I can literally count on one hand how many times I've lost the ball to someone running a Sienna. Because if I'm not playing big and there's a Sienna on the court, I don't go in the paint. I don't go for boards. I don't go for the paint. I let the big, look, that's your job. That's how you're supposed to do it. You can also use it to cheese people open. Like that's all an IQ thing. Yeah. That balanced nerve, oh my God, that shit was so unnecessary.
Yeah, it was.
It was, and it's noticeable. That's the crazy thing. It is so noticeable. Yeah, actually, and that's the second nerf they gave her. They gave her two. Because the first nerf they gave her, the first one was they made it to where that earthquake only activates on power rebound.
Yep.
Versus a regular rebound. They didn't tell nobody about that one. That was the first nerf. Because I remember for like the longest, I'm like, why is my earthquake not activating? Like I'm just going for boards. It ain't activating for shit. And I was like, oh, that's what. I got you.
Yeah. But
that was unnecessary.
But I don't have much else to say about that. We just kind of put it out there. So pretty much for anyone who is gonna still find some form of complaints, bro. Like, damn, we just told you it all. Shit, even joycity told you in the patches. That's fucked up. And they never tell you anything in the patches. That's fucked up.
They'll do a secret, and then y'all doing. But now the thing, like I said, that my biggest pet peeve with this balance patch is like, now I'm just seeing all these shooting guards just take bad shots and then claiming that I got the skill issue. I'm not playing defense. No, dog, you face shooting. These patch notes are bailing you the fuck out. That's what's going on right now.
Yeah,
these patch notes are bailing y'all out, and y'all know they're bailing y'all out.
Yeah, but again, though, it's more of, would you rather have this patch or would you rather go back to when Janessa to Giant G started?
Honestly, I'd rather that. I'm gonna tell you why I'd rather that. I'm gonna tell you why I'd rather that over this bullshit. The main reason why, because like I said, there is a counter to everything.
Mm-hmm.
How do you counter Janessa's intercept? Long range passes. She cannot dash steal on a long, that overhead pass. She's not dash stealing on that.
Yeah.
She's not gonna, that's it. Just whoever got the Janessa on her, take that bitch to the far side of the court. Let me run this pick and roll with the other person. Now, unless it's a situation where there's like two Janessas on the court or some shit, which is rare, which is very rare, then it's just what your skill is. I ain't scared to ISO with Janessa. And I want Janessa on this. I'm scared to ISO. I take my chances. Like I said, this is when it comes down, and I can't believe this because it's like I'm siding with PC players, and I don't like siding with PC players because they don't play the same game that we play. I don't care what they get on here and complain about. I can't stand to hear them when they complain about shit in the game because I'm
Exactly.
and y'all still find shit to complain about. Dog, you have a PC. Your ping ain't my ping. Your reaction, your timing, your everything. You have every advantage in the game, and you're complaining about some bullshit because people get the cheese floaters on you in a turn. Dog, go sit your ass down somewhere. That shit annoyed the hell out of me. That annoys the hell out of me. Like y'all have no reason to complain about you. You have every advantage. You got people uncapping frames so they can get an advantage. Like I have a 60-40 ping split from west to east. I just got to deal with it, and I still play big. And I'll be quick to tell people, dog, it's not. And I honestly don't think I don't think there's that many bigs. I just think they have a lot of bigs that have better. There's a big difference.
Yeah.
Remember DJ Miles said something like that. You can tell somebody that actually mains Giant G versus somebody that just plays Giant G.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
It's a big, and it's so obvious. Like, no, I play big. Like, I mean, I main big. I can play big, but I just don't have the ping to get boards. I still like it's crazy because like when it comes to line, I don't have a lot of rebounds when it comes to that, but I'm like one of the highest scoring centers on this game. It's like you still gonna have to guard me. I ain't gonna get boards, but you gonna have to guard me. But that was like this. Like I said, I'd rather the old way was better to me.
But I
I
also
don't think
believe
you just rewarding people for taking bad shots. No, that's gonna give people a false sense of confidence, and then eventually, like I said, that's why I'm waiting to see how this tourney is gonna turn out. It's gonna change again.
yeah,
These patches don't stay this way forever.
that is true because the downside is the fact of how people are taking these shots. But to my counter argument, I guess you could say, is that there's always
Mhm.
an adjustment that players can make. People are officially switching off of imped. Of course, still having imped in some form. I don't believe they're like automatically moving away from it, but
Mhm.
switching from imped to more jump shot block because they feel like these shots aren't respectfully maintaining what the offense should be, which I totally understand. So, but I have not been convicted or ideally felt as if with how all of these characters that we have now, it's not as
Mhm.
if they're just washed, or it's not as if people's shitty ass Wi-Fi ain't getting these lag blocks, or it's not as if somebody knows how to calc or preemptively right. Like it's just many different moments people have obtained to know how to do certain things consistently. I just think if you gotta switch to get more jump shot block, your ass. That's what I think.
I agree. I agree.
Not saying more ain't bad, right? Because you just want to guarantee the block. That's fine. But I have not done anything like that ever since this patch came out. I haven't done it on
I
Cyan. I took that shit off. I
I
haven't
haven't
done
tweaked
on.
any of my bills. My bills are still the same. I hadn't tweaked shit.
Yeah, yeah, and I've been fine. Not saying I don't ever miss a block or two. Not saying that, but
That's gonna happen.
yeah,
It's just it's just that like I said, the thing that annoys the hell out of me is like a good contest don't mean shit now.
yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
That's my biggest issue. It's like this feels closer to when threes was what first came out,
Mm-hmm.
where Kim's was just shooting every goddamn thing.
Mm-hmm.
And if you just didn't, and that's just what it was.
Yeah.
That's why I say like I just felt the old way was better because it forced you to become a better player. This does not force you to become a better player. Now I know some people say where it forces you to become a better player defensively, doesn't? Because they can still make contested shit over you. So basically, I'm playing bad defense because I don't get.
Also, your mic keep coming out.
Hold on. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you straight.
All right. But yeah, that's what it's doing. Like I, because I don't think defense was the problem. Now, I will say this: so most people who play shooting guard can't really play defense anyway. But
Yeah.
at the same time, they're not playing shooting guard to play defense anyway. They just want to try to drop 30 on you and then laugh at you because they did it. And I've always said this, dude: if you drop 30 points on me, it's gonna take you hours to do it. That's just what it is. If I pull out Lou, it's gonna take you 50 shots to get 30 points on me.
Yep.
But it's like I said, I'm just not a fan of it. Like I said, I feel like you've sacrificed you sacrifice too much just to boost shooting guards.
Yeah.
Because I think what was the balance patch before that? I think they gave them like a defensive buff.
Yeah, they did.
Where they gave them like extra jump shot block and extra steal.
Yeah.
Which the only person that really helped the defense buff, the only people that really helped was it helped Yuna, it helped Nadia, and it helped Walker. But then this patch basically made Nadia a worse shooter. You made Walker a better shooter. So that's one thing. And then on top of that, if you have a P7 Nadia, which I do, and you have her perimeter defense with the extra imped maxed out, which I do, it sucks now. It sucks. Like I'm basically me using her kit is pointless now. That's why I don't like it. Like for those who like to run blind defense and blind face up, you can't. So I'm just not supposed to use the skill. That's what you're telling me. I'm just not supposed to use that skill in order for the rest of the shooting guards to just flourish and shit.
Yeah.
It's something on their kit, but you're telling me I'm washed because I shouldn't have to use that skill. But it's a skill they have me use. It's part of their kit. It makes no sense. Me and Mountain had this conversation. It was like I thought me and Mountain, like we don't agree on everything, but I thought we was at one thing we was on the same page when it came to like the changes in the nerfs and the buffs and things that do need to happen. But apparently we're part of the minority. Because we do not. Because I know he feels the same way about this balance patch as I do. It's just.
But I think the thing, but the problem is though, you know, we've talked so much about how joycity released characters and just how how far we've gotten into defense. I don't think they could really introduce anything else defensively unless you're talking about shadow blocking from mid range or some shit like that.
It's going to be It's going to be a character. Like, wait till this next. You think this next small forward is going to be Buns? You think the next small forward that comes out is going to be Buns?
We're kind of glad to see what happens. I don't think it's going to be Buns, but I think after Ampan's release, they're probably going to start off strong to like really showcase the balance patch. So I think that's why.
And then people are going to be crying about that.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, this new character they're going to be crying about. I just wish they give me a defensive shooting guard.
That's all I wanted. That. Shit.
I just want a solid two-way shooting guard. Like my P-buffs are basically built for Nadia and nobody else. I can't get another character to run off. Ain't people. But they just keep giving all these offensive shooting guards. It's like, just at this point, make Nadia call it a day.
Yeah. But
just go ahead and tweak her stats to a small forward and just call it that.
Yeah. But I think that's pretty much all we got to say for this topic. Let's go ahead and move on to the next. Next topic, which is something that just kind of slid in here. Let's go ahead and talk about rank.
Of course.
This is one of the biggest pieces of bullshit joycity could have ever done to the player base. I'm sorry. I have to put this at number 1. You could debate about, past years, money, spending money, things expensive, all this other shit. Yeah, forget all that. I'm putting rank at number 1, tied or almost tied with the ability card system. I still think the ability card system was a solid choice, understandably so why they done it. But for a lot of other players, they don't like it, understandably so. But like this has to be 1. I'm sorry. Throughout the court summit, throughout the dev talks in the Discord, throughout the fact of knowing you gave us forms to fill out to understand your player base a lot more in the terms of what we want. You guys nerfed rank the very first time when it came, reward wise, accessories and pets, and we didn't understand why, and they still didn't really technically tell us why. And when you think about all the things that were pretty just mentioned, and what we want for rank. People want rank to be a weekly thing since you took points out the battle pass as well. People wanted
Hmm.
the accessories and pets back. People wanted just a lot more, right? Like you want your grind to show its worth, and I think that's totally valid. Nobody said to nerf double S. Nobody said that. No one at all. That doesn't make any sense. And for the people who say, because I've seen this before, for the people who say, like, oh, all they gotta do is just make it weekly and would be no, no, no,
That would be worse.
that would be
That would
worse.
be worse.
That totally worse. And what makes it just way like just a nightmare to even think about it is that you want me to grind not only way more games per usual to hit double S, but you want me to grind those X amount of games just for 100 points. And all you did was, this is where we could actually talk about, catering to the sweats. All you did was improve triple S by an extra 100 points.
Hmm.
That was it. Of course, nobody cares about the tickets. Who cares about that? You know what I mean? Like that ain't really shit when you're hitting triple S. You're not hitting triple S for 7 tickets. You're just not. But 350 points, you made double S into a whole ass nerf. And knowing that there's a lot of people who are comfortable at hitting double S. There's nothing wrong saying, hey, we want you to play more games. That's understandable. You want a lot of people to
Hmm.
put more hours into it. It shows analytic wise, right? And it, probably helps the game out in some form for the devs to be like, okay, we could, push a lot more stuff out that caters around to this. But why would I want to play those amount of games, way more per usual, for 100 points? Why would you make it to 100 points when a lot of people talked about rank in a certain manner where it should be a lot bigger, not a lot smaller? That does not make any sense at all. I have not played ranked ever since it happened. I don't really too much care for it. At this point, if you want 100 points, just spend $10. That's it. Bam,
Yeah.
congratulations. You hit double S automatically. You are a winner. You are a winner. You may be like, well, that's an L because you just gave joycity $10. Well, okay, that's fine too. But hey, I'm
Got
not
to
about to
speculate
waste
to
that.
accumulate.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not about to waste that much time for 100 points. Nobody asks for that. I can see if they shit, you could even talk me down to saying if they made it 100 points, we'll give you 20 selective tickets and 17 intensive notes. I would have been like, okay, does kind of suck. We lost 50, but hey, I can at least knowing I get another intensive book out of it. I get 20 more tickets that could go along the ability card system, and on top of the fact of I already buy points, or if I decide to buy points in the near future, that's already 100 points on my account that I'll be able to use depending on the amount that I want to buy. I would have been okay with that, but they didn't do that. So it's very interesting to see how I like our ideas just went one, through one ear out the other, and they didn't properly think about it, especially knowing the certain things that you've done to the battle pass, to the way when it
Hmm.
came to earning points in the daily login, to when it came to certain events that were free and you could have gotten 20, 30 points in total or some shit like that. Like, this is probably one of the worst things to start off in 2026, personally. And I think this is one of the things that has to take the number one spot because this is the main consumer friendly for people to obtain without spending money.
Hmm.
That's huge. That's not something to joke over. That's not something to gloss over. That is huge. Everybody is comfortable hitting 150 points. Everybody and their mamas is comfortable hitting 150 points. Because why? You could do something with 150 points in the shop. There's always a form of a deal in the shop for 150 points or even less, or even on top if you already have points in your account and you grabbed 150 from rank. You're still getting something from the shop that's worth the value of 150 points. So they like to really start off the year where like the balance patch, however you feel about it, however you feel about it, solid, good, bad, whatever. Okay, cool. It's balanced in the terms of players' reactions. But
Hmm.
afterwards, bro, you basically killed off what people were asking for a really long time, and that's just not good.
No, I agree with you 100% on the rank thing. That was I don't know what they thought they were doing, and the thing about it is them lowering the P points was not even the most egregious part for me. Like I'm not happy about that. I think that's jacked up. But the most egregious part is they basically turned rank into a full-time job. That's what they did. The grind that it takes, because what they did was not only, and again, I'm with you as far as like if you was playing time in rank, I'm okay with that because they lowered the what was the reset time from I think it was 5 days to 3 days now
Yeah.
before you get demoted. I'm cool with that. Didn't have a problem with that. But when y'all make it to where losses in rank matter more, because now it's like double the points what it used to be if you lose a match. Dog,
Yeah.
that takes forever to climb rank. Forever. Like, dog, anybody, anyone that gets up there with a 90% win rate, I tip my hat to you. On top of that, I need you to go outside and touch grass. Because that is a serious ass freaking grind.
That's a
Like, and
problem.
I'm just somebody. I am somebody who just plays strictly for double S. I used to try to compete for triple S, but even when I was trying to compete, that shit just took too much time. And by the end of the first week, I am burnt out from playing rank,
Yeah.
and I just always fall out of it. So I'm just like, fuck it. It ain't that. It's not worth it to me anymore. I just want to get my double S and get up out of there, get my 1,600 points, and I'm dipping.
Yeah.
Now they did lower the points that are required for double S, but that still doesn't help. That still doesn't help. Like, dog, I think I quit. I was what is it? I was S rank and I quit. I just said, dog, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. This is too much of a grind. And I think what it's doing is making it to where, and I'm solo queuing in rank. I always solo queue. It's making it to where if you're a solo player in rank, it's gonna be a nightmare. It is far worse for a solo player in rank now than it was back then. It is a complete nightmare. I wouldn't recommend solo queuing rank at all for anybody. Find somebody that you get along with and just do what y'all can do, get your double S and get up out of there. Because it's not fun anymore. Rank used to be fun for me. It's just not fun. It feels more like a chore. And even more so now, it feels like a chore.
Yeah.
It literally feels like a job. Like I'm done. I'm not about to get clock out, come home, and then I gotta like literally I'm dreading hopping into this for 100 P points. It's like, nah, I'm gonna just get S rank. What is it? I think it's like 50. I'll
Yeah.
take the
50
50.
points.
I'll take the 50. And I'm done with it. I am done with it. This is the year, absolutely right. This is not what the people asked for. My thing is if you're gonna do something like this, I think I even said this on the last time we did a podcast, they just need to make a solo rank. No, I think that way it balances everything out. Like I truly feel like if you just did a complete solo rank, meaning there you queue up with whoever the game give you queue up with. Ain't gonna be no double stacking. There's no triple stacking. What you just roll with whatever they give, and y'all figure it out on the fly. I think that is the best way to balance it. Because me personally, I get tired of seeing these people up at the top with like 90%, 100% win rate at the end of rank.
Yeah.
You can call me a hater, but no, I just really get tired of that. I'm tired of seeing these people just cakewalk everybody. Like, make it a solo queue rank. Give a two-band system. And when I say two-band system, I'm not talking about one band per side. I'm talking about two bands per side. Or make it to where if you're just going to keep this one-band system per side, if one team picks Giant G, make it to where the other side, because that's like a waste.
Yeah.
Like I always felt like it should be no duplicate bands. Like I hate that. Like I'm grateful for it. Like I enjoy the band system, but I just never liked that part of it. They really need to either make it a 2 character band per side or just make it to where you can't have duplicate bands in rank. And I think that'll be fine. And we need to have a solo rank to just basic to just balance it out for everybody. And I think rank will be fine. As far as the rewards, I mean I get what they're doing from a business aspect. They're trying to get more money out the community. I totally get that. I'm not against a company trying to get money out of the community. At the end of the day, if the company's not making money, then the game dies. I don't want to see the game die. I totally understand that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a fan of some of these business practices. I feel like there's other ways to do it. Like, all right, if you want us to spend money, then give the player base more bang for their buck. Unfortunately, you do have a lot of kids that play and they just don't have money.
Yeah.
That's just what it is. Your player base has a lot of kids. A lot of kids. They're just not going to spend money. That's just what it is. So you're relying on the to to keep the company going, and that's fine. Just give us just give us more bang for our buck. I think the ultimate, they said it was losing money, or speculated, it was heard that the ultimate edition, they got rid of that because they were money on that. I'm like, maybe. Because I honestly don't think the majority of the player base had the ultimate edition, even though I endorse the hell out of that every time. Like, if you don't got nothing else for this game, get the ultimate edition. I think what they need to do with rank, as far as reward wise, I mean, if they want to up the rewards for triple S, that's fine. But yeah, y'all need to, as far as double S, especially if you're going to keep the way the demotion is, to where you lose so many points for a loss, then you definitely need to up the points in all of them. S rank needs to be 100 points. Double S needs to be 200. If you're going to keep it to where if you lose a match, you lose like anywhere between 20 to, you definitely need to up the rewards for that. Not like you said, nobody's really worrying about the growth tickets. Y'all don't give us enough for a full 10 pool anyway. Like, nah, if y'all going to do that, no, you need to up the rewards for all the tiers of rank. S rank needs to be 100, double S needs to be 2, and what triple S is 300 now? 350?
350.
350? And I think we're fine. I think we'll be fine, especially if y'all not going to put P points back in the pass, which going on 2 weeks and still no battle pass, which they probably saving the battle pass for whatever the next new character is.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because then they was talking about we got up the rewards. They nerfed the Ox Queen event. I know a lot of people didn't play that, but when they took mileage tickets out the Ox Queen event, I just don't have the heart to play. They did put, I will say this, the growth tickets that they put back in there are dope, because you get like if you do end up with growth tickets, you get like a 30 pack for whatever the featured character is. I would say that's the downside, because I ended up with 2 30 packs for Carter. But I know if somebody else got that, they probably would be pissed because they don't play Carter. I ended up with a 30 pack for Pan. But I know if people don't play Pan, they probably going to be pissed. Dude, I don't even play Pan. Why I got a 30 pack? Like, I think the player-specific cards, they need to get rid of those. If you want to do position, that's fine. But get rid of those player-specific cards. I'm not a fan of those. Because basically, I got a 10 pack sitting play Carolina. I don't plan on building a Carolina. So they're just sitting there.
Yeah. And I think for what it's worth, because I did, like, in my head, I did play devil's advocate when I made the video about talking how they killed rank. I said, if PvE content that's coming our way soon, whenever it does come out, if that shit ain't repeatable, if that shit ain't valuable, right, then I think a lot of us will quit the game. I don't think you can really come back from a choice that nobody asked for or was never obtained, so any form of input. Now, the PvE content does become godlike, then, I think that's where rank gets shrugs off in a way like, it's okay. I probably still play rank every now and then, right? But this is where it's at currently for a lot of players, is the PvE content. But within this choice, though, when players ask for a lot more, you could say, like, the next wave of the roadmap that they talked about since last year isn't going to mean much of anything if this is how you want to start off one of the biggest things that players talked about. So, I don't know. I hope that whatever the single player experience looks like it is as huge as it can be. It offers a lot, right? They're already, allowing us, and it's permanent too, allowing us to be able to P5, P6, P7 a character so easily with how they're throwing intensive notes out.
That's true.
Um, it's just sad to
What,
see that a rank mode, one of the modes that a lot of people look forward to, is just not the main purpose to play for anymore.
mm-mm.
So
It's basically at this point, it's if you're free to play for this game and you don't have the Ultimate Edition, it's going to be painful. It's going to be painful. The only way, because I remember somebody was asking me like if I could do like another updated video on like how to grind P points on this game. There isn't, because I tried to sit down and like there really isn't. Every way that you can like kind of get P points out of this game is gone.
yeah,
Outside of what I mean, if you the episodes, some of the episodes will give you P points, and I think that's only for the free to play characters. So that if you P5 all the free to play characters, you get P points. Outside of that, if you do your dailies every day, that's 1 P point. If you run with other people, like if you squad up with like at least one other person, you'll get, and y'all actually have to go on like a three, I think like a 3-5, like a three, you have to get a 3 game streak and you have to play 5 matches. You'll get an additional 3 P points from that. So that's 4 P points a day that you can get from that. If you do that every day for a month, it stacks up, but think about it along these terms. Let's say if you got a P7 character and you trying to max out their dog, it's gonna take you like, I did the calculations. It's gonna take you roughly 9 months.
oh, I forgot about that. You just
It's gonna take
reminded me.
it's gonna take you 9 months. Like let's say if you just strictly free to play,
Yep.
you don't play rank. We talking about you just playing this game with one other person every day for 4 P points,
Mhm.
just so you can max out your P7 tree. It's gonna take you roughly 9 months, give or take.
Mhm.
Because they convert that was I have a really big issue with that. At this point in time, it's not for me. I don't think it's worth it to P7 character. I was a stand for P7 characters. I would always say yes, it's worth it to P7 your characters. Granted, all P7s ain't the same. Some people just have trash ass P7s. Lloyd by far has the worst of all of them. But even with that, the majority of the characters actually have really good P7 trees. However, when it was coins that you had to spend to get it, I'm cool with that. It might take you, give or take a few weeks, maybe a month, and you can get your tree maxed out.
Yeah.
No, this is ridiculous. Them converting that to P points is ridiculous. Even with them giving us P points, like let's say if you running with someone every day, that's ridiculous. 4 P points a day, and it costs like y'all either need to cut that down by half, or honestly, no, to hell with cutting it down by half. Just revert it back to coins. Notice we don't even get coin balls anymore.
Mhm. Mm-mm-mm.
Like I don't have no coin, but you actually have to spend P points to get coin buff balls now.
Yeah. I'm just.
They still haven't given us a new level system.
Yep.
Everybody that's at 100 still stuck at 100. It's like
I'm
once you get to
close.
level 100, there's nothing else. Like even Apex up their level system. It's like once everybody what was I think Apex is like 500 was what it was, and it was like 500 for like 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Can we up this at any point?
Yeah.
They've
But
changed so much. Even the YouTube program, like, well, not technically a YouTube program, but like the video program where you just post a video and they give you a YouTube tag,
yep.
that's not the same. They just keep doing unnecessary changes so they just don't have to shell out as much rewards, and I'm not liking that. Like they're really making this game anti-free to, like it's just not happening.
Yeah, man. It's. We'll see what happens within the next couple of months. I actually do expect something to happen. The start of summer. I think that's a good point out
I do
to.
too.
Yeah.
I'm not expecting anything too major. I think maybe we might get a new. I think we'll get a new character probably before the summer, but as far as like anything in-game based,
Hmm.
I'm not expecting anything until the summer. And I
Yeah.
think I think those winter summer leagues, I don't think those are coming back.
Oh yeah. No, no, no.
That's
I haven't thought about that for a long time. That's just how
I
good
know a
it
lot of
is.
people forgot. It's GG's. That event was I love that event, but yeah, that's GG's.
Yeah.
That I don't think that's coming back.
But let's go ahead and move on to the next topic. I think we talked enough about that. So we know all the characters have got their P6, P7, Carter being the very
Mm,
last one.
hallelujah.
Uh, there has been talks about, around the community. Of course, it's not the biggest talk of them all, but a lot of people think the next movement or the next wave is going to be a P8.
Mm,
For me, at least, I don't think that's
mm-hmm,
going to happen. I think for what it's worth, we're heading into our third year of P7 being a thing. I
mm-hmm,
think this is a perfect time for joycity to show us, even though we just said, we don't think something's going to happen until either the summertime or until the winter. Um,
all speculations.
yeah,
Mm-hmm,
yeah, speculation. But I think this is a perfect time for joycity to show us, right, with no real agenda of waiting on what character, what next character is going to catch their prestige, guessing, and all this other shit. This is the biggest opening that they probably have to give the player base what they want. Now, even though we just went on a whole damn rant, a whole damn conversation about Joy City fucking up, but we still got to put it out there in the terms of what they could potentially do in redemption. Now, I don't really have any true ideas of what they could do within this opening because we're not going to get another character until, let me see, maybe like late, like start of late May when they start doing the little promos, and then
mm-hmm.
July is when we head in,
Something
or
like
yeah, May, June, and
at the earliest
yeah,
mid-April.
yeah. So if it becomes what it is with that character. But the opening is real, and I do feel they have to take advantage of it while they still can. I think
Mm-hmm,
this is where we should see, for my own speculation or theory, I think this is where we should see more dev talks. I think this is where we should see more forms come out, right? And hopefully they, right, if we all speak on the same thing, at least most of us, because we already know some of us ain't gonna do it. But if most of the community can band together and speak on the most egregious things that need to change, not just gameplay,
mm-hmm.
then this is where we can really shift the goalposts for whatever Joy City is planning. Because I do think they have something planned. It's just tough to say. I think P8 is a little too early to really have that conversation. And then
I
even if
think so
we're
too.
talking about P8, it's still gonna come at the value of not only for the characters, but also what it's worth, right? Because we've seen what P6 is like. Not every P6 is good. We've seen what P7 is like. Not every P7 is good. And I expect
Mm-hmm,
P8 to, keep that same trend going. If I
mm-hmm.
had to say what they could do, um, cross progression. I think with that, the one thing that was kind of put out, but some of the GMs during a dev talk did kind of come in about it, was that it's tricky to move information around
Yeah, like
for them for cross
they
progression.
kind of shut that down because they shut that down. Because I remember
Yeah,
I remember that comment. They came. It was like, look, it's a lot that goes into that, and
but they're not
I think
disclosed on the idea though. That's the thing. Even though they shut it down, they never said it. Like that's ruled out completely.
mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm,
I think that's one of the things. I think the second thing that they could end up doing, which you could say that's far fetched. You can get a free P6, P7 character of your choice. I think for the changes that have happened, right? And how you preemptively pushed for us to obtain P6 and P7 so easily now. If I'm a new player, or if I'm a casual, or if I'm somebody who don't really put hours in, and this could also benefit from obviously existing players as well,
mm-hmm.
right? Yo, we're gonna throw out 7, 8, 9, 10 characters free of charge. P6, P7, right there. Oh shit! Hold on. I kind of do need a Nathan at a P6, P7 for some P-Bus. But hey, yo, look, that's a steal for me. Um, I feel like that's something that they can end up doing just cause, right? We're talking about being generous, get back on your player's side. Why not give
That's
somebody a free pick?
that's
It's
super generous.
yeah, that is very that is like, bruh, you probably have us on our knees gawking you. Like that's just how probably,
Mm-mm.
probably, because that's the biggest thing you ever done for the player base, right? I think the third thing that it could end up doing, just cause you allow us to, I don't like, depending on how you want to view this, but you can allow us to pick a character, and we can change out of any skills of what they have in their kit.
Hmm.
I feel, for if you want a lot less pushback, right? If you want a lot more engagement, a lot more talks, a lot more shared, videos and contents and people talking about certain things, I think one of these three categories can really get us back on track so that it leads to joycity being a lot more careful about their changes, right? About choices that we don't know about. Because being super generous to a game like this, where depending on how you feel about it, if you think it's just solid with a lot of impactful thoughts that shouldn't really be there, but being
Hmm.
super generous to your community has to be your number one go-to move. You've done some W's, you've done some small W's, right? Some small
Hmm.
ones. Like we haven't gotten a big one yet, but I think if we're going to lean towards, what could be next for 3on3, let's actually talk about what's next for the community itself and what can be the advantage of, not only being part of this community, but also Joy City viewing us as like, they've stuck with us with all of the things that they have done. And here we go. We'll slap on this for you. Bam, congratulations. You play on PC now, or Xbox now, or PlayStation now. We slap on this for you. Congratulations. You get a free P6, P7 character. We slapped on this for you. Oh shit. Visionary. No, I'm playing. But we done those things and we want to show our gratitude for it. I think this is their main move that they have to go for.
I'm not mad at that. I just think from a business as from a business aspect and from the way they've been moving as of late, I think it's far fetched, very slim chance to none.
Yeah.
Especially them giving us a P6, because the way I'm looking at it, and I was because I don't know if it's still in the store. I haven't checked, or it's not something that I've actively looked for in a minute. But I remember when they did put it in there, you basically buy a P6 for $20.
Yeah. Which
A
was
maxed out, I
surprising.
think it's a maxed out P6, which number one, yeah, that was surprising. Number two, that's a really good deal.
Yeah.
That is a really, I'm not mad at anyone who dropped a couple of 20s for because I think the only character you couldn't put spending on was Nathan.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not mad at anybody who dropped a couple of ducats on that, just to get that. That was actually a really good deal, because I think anything that they do, anything remotely close to something like that, if anything, they might give you a discount on some shit. But as far as like a free P7, nah. Because even when it came to, like, for those who didn't have the Ultimate Edition, and you can buy certain characters with P points, what they was doing, they was just reducing the amount of P points. Because I
Yeah.
think originally it was like, what, 150. I don't know what it is now, because I've always had characters, but all they did was just review reduce the purchase power of it. So it's like, would it be nice? Hell yeah, I wouldn't be mad at them if they did that. I think that'll be dope. Unfortunately, we just looking at it from a business aspect. I just don't think they're going to do it.
Yeah, it's always the
I
business
just I
aspect.
just really don't think they're going to do it. I would love for them. It's just one. Now, as far as the cross, personally, I'm not a fan of it. I'm Main reason why, because it's going to be more of an influx of people just going to PC so they can get an advantage of everybody else who's not on PC.
Hmm.
Like my biggest pet peeve with this game has always been not crossplay.
Hmm.
Like I really the PC players don't play the same game that we play. They just don't. The game is totally different from them. They can read damn near everything that we do. Like even when like and it's super noticeable when you're playing with a PC. Like you actually have a PC player on your team, and you go for a rebound, and you watch them go rebound quicker. Their character just snaps to the ball over you, and then you see it you see it from a different end when you're playing against them. Just on even if they don't get the block, how fast they're able to contest shots over you actually shooting the shot. It's totally night and day. And I feel like what they should do is, if anything, and if they want to do cross progression, that's fine. But I will always say they need to get rid of crossplay. I think PC players need to have their own thing and let Xbox and PlayStation duke it out. It is just the game is just not the same for us.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not necessarily against anyone uncapping frames. If you want to uncap frame, that's totally fine. I ain't really tripping off that. But as far as like this, us sharing a platform with PC players, that shouldn't be a thing. It should not be. And it's nothing against them. It's just that I already know if they do progress and we still have crossplay, I'm more than likely going to quit. And because I already majority of the is going to switch to PC. I already know that's what's going to happen. I'm expecting that to happen. Like I'm talking about like within the next 3 months, the majority of the play, because I still think PlayStation is their biggest community. The PlayStation community is just basically going to die off, and PlayStation and computer will be your biggest player base within like a 3 to 4 month period. I truly believe that.
or I mean, instead of cross progression, what they could do, because PlayStation does have an app, but at the same time though, people do complain about how you know Microsoft and how I'm able to play my Xbox account on PC. They could do something like that, maybe.
That's true. But yes, that's a Sony thing. That's they're ridiculous about little things like Sony's like the equivalent of Apple.
Yeah.
They just don't let you just like nah. We got to be able to control everything that you do.
Yeah.
It's like in some aspects I agree with that, and in some aspects it's like gosh, y'all could let this ride. Y'all really could let this ride. So it's like I'm not totally against it. It's just I already know if crossplay is still a thing and they do cross progression, I already know this game is going to be a nightmare to play.
Yeah.
It's going to be a nightmare to play overnight. And then at that point, I'm gonna have a retirement party. Be a retirement stream. It's been good. Been nice knowing y'all, and I'm gonna talk all the shit in the world about PC play before I finally dip out. But that's just me. That's just my opinion. I know a lot of people that I do about. That's just how I've always
Yeah.
crossplay. Like I've never been a any platform, any game. Like I just feels like anytime you implement something like that, it ruins the game. Great more. And PC players are always going to have the advantage. I mean, you can sit there and say it's a skill issue. No, like people switch from console to PC
Yeah.
for the advantage. For the advantage, they know there's an advantage, and they switch from console to PC for that exact reason. It's an advantage. It ain't. It's Call of Duty. It is not the same. You just can't do it. Like I think even Apex is crossplay. There's a difference.
Mm-hmm.
It's night and day. It is a difference. Like I said, it's nothing against them against personal. It's just like when I see PC lineups, it's like oh, I don't get geeked up for this lineup. That don't mean I'm gonna run. I won't duck no smoke now. But I just know what to expect when I'm going up against PC players.
Yeah. Yep.
So
So
that's how I've always felt about it.
yeah, I can see it. That complaints are never going to go away because they are valid in the terms. I would actually have no problem of going back, reverting back to what it was because Xbox players actually get to stay on PC and it's still considered Xbox account. So
They still
actually be
consider
with
Xbox
you
a
guys
console.
with uncapped frames, and you gotta deal with our bullshit now. So you know what I mean?
But
I mean, like
but
the best of two
but
worlds, right? But
and this is why I say I don't necessarily have a problem with that because it's not as many of y'all.
yeah,
Like as for like just a few, I'm okay with that. The majority of the population don't need like the majority of the population of always been PlayStation.
yeah,
Like I want to say like at one point he was the minority. Xbox is actually the super minority now. But that's why I said I don't have a problem with that. On top of that, if they started doing tourneys, I promise you have a bigger if they got rid of crossplay, you would have a bigger turnout for the
oh yeah, of course. I've
I
already
promise
said
you,
that. I
you
already
would have a
said
bigger
that.
turnout for this tournament. The reason why people do not join these tournaments is because it's full of PCs.
Yeah,
Nobody wants to go again. Nobody. We are the type of foolishness we're gonna have to deal with. It's
yep,
gonna be constant. It's gonna be this screen, jump shot, block, pillar stuff that nobody wants to play against.
yep,
Nobody really wants to watch it. Outside of a few people like me personally, I don't actually like watching how they play because I feel like you can always learn something from them just by watching, even if a lot of them like the ego trip and don't want to explain shit to nobody. You can
yeah,
still pick up some stuff just by watching them. But at the same time, nobody wants to participate in. That's why the turnout has always been like until y'all either need to do something where it's console only or just get rid of crossplay. I promise you that you want the numbers and the turnouts for tournaments, you're going to have to do something about crossplay. There's no way around it. You do a survey, I promise you, if you do a survey, you do a poll, the majority of the people do not join tournaments, don't want to get dog. That's literally what it is. Now you can call it a skill issue. Hey, that's fine. That's perfectly fine if you want to call it a skill issue. But people already know they just know what comes with going against these triple stack PC lineups. They know what comes with it. And they don't want to have to go against that.
yeah.
It is what it is.
Also, what the fuck is that block in the air?
The what?
There's a block in the air. You don't see that?
What block? What are you looking at?
Like next to this shack or garage, and then you just look to like to your left, up in the air.
All right, I'm looking at this garage.
Yeah.
You
And
talking
then
about that box that's on top of the roof?
that's a box. No, 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 no. Okay, okay, right. Continue to look left. Continue to look left, and then just look up.
Oh shit! I just noticed that.
What the fuck is that? What the fuck?
I just noticed that.
That
Oh,
was
you know something else I noticed
what?
out here? There's this plant that's randomly growing.
Oh yeah, you talking about that bullshit?
Yeah, because it wasn't this big.
We're pausing it, guys. We're discovering.
This little tree. A few months ago, this tree was not that big. Now I don't know if this is like some like little,
Hmm.
just like a time or something. Is it something dealing with the seasons? So when winter comes around, it shrinks. It just grows during the spring. Is this
Man,
like a times table for something big coming back?
yeah. I was thinking of like maybe a rework on FS Village. I don't know.
Hopefully, because I noticed like when you on the queue up screen, I
Mhm.
noticed that they put the food buff logos sign symbol is back on there.
Yeah.
So I don't know if food buffs are getting ready to come back, but I noticed that hadn't been there that long. I think that's been there for like the past 2 weeks.
Damn.
I
But
was like, why the food buff logos back on here? I'm like, we ain't got food buffs.
mm, 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 mm. But
So I'm
I
like,
think.
unless Pedro's meal truck about to come back through here.
Oh, that was a thing. Oh yeah, that was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's been too long. It's been too long for that bullshit. But I think that's pretty much enough for this topic. Let's go ahead and round it up where we get to talk about your characters. All right. So, oh shit, we got Carolina, P6, P7. We got Big Dog, P6, P7. You got Luther. I forgot if it was Luther or not, but P6, P7. We got Carter, P6, P7, and Jason.
Where Carolina come from? I don't play Carolina.
What? Nigga, I thought you was high on
I,
Carolina.
no, I don't ever play Carolina. My
Oh yeah,
Carolina's not
shit. Oh
good.
yeah, my fault. So it's really just Luther, Big Dog, Carter, and Jason. Man, that's for like throwing Carolina in there just because. But within
Probably
those
bag.
four,
It's probably Bagman
yeah.
because I play a lot of Bagman.
But within those four, which character surprised you the most? Which character surprised you the least? Ranking one through
Oof,
four,
surprised me the
lowest to
most.
highest.
Mm, I wouldn't say. If anything, Big Dog surprised me the least. I know that's kind of weird as my big man, Big Dog fan.
Mm,
He surprised me the least. I did well, mainly because as far as skill wise, I didn't expect much.
yeah.
I didn't expect him to do anything over the top. What they gave him is kind of what I expected him to get. I'm cool with it. Could they have given him something a lot better? Of course.
Yeah.
But am I tripping off what they gave him? No. I run floater and and I worked the hell out of it. So I would say him the least. Um, I would say Luther next. His P7 is actually not bad at all. He got chip out in manual block. I know a lot of people manual block. I personally prefer chip out
Mm-hmm.
just because, like I said, I don't have the ping to be a super great rebound. So anything that helps me get rebounds, I'm gonna go for it. Um, Sienna would be number one. I was surprised at how good Sienna actually really is, especially at P7 and having her P7 maxed out, her tree maxed out. It is a big difference. I wish her big mode lasted a little longer, but I'm still cool with it. I'm just still mad that they nerfed her. Like that shit was totally unnecessary, but it is
Mm-hmm.
what it is. Um, and if anything, I guess you can throw. I mean, who was Jason?
Yep. I said
Here's
Luther,
a
Big Dog, Carter, and Jason.
Jason would be number two because Jason. I was gonna give Jason his P7 regardless. That's my guy. But the thing with Jason is his tree. Majority of people, if they did max it out, they probably went 3 point. I went I went with the dunk just because it's hilarious the range that I get from it. I literally just dunk all day with him. It's hilarious. It makes him more fun to play. Like I don't like to have my Jason just out there chucking up threes and shit. That shit's for the most part is easy to clamp up. So I just spam dunks with him. Like
Damn.
I think they cooked with his P7 is really good, very underrated. They did right by him, so I'm not mad. Even what they gave him for his P, I'm not mad at what they gave him.
So
He
then,
had he has he has solid options.
okay. So then, Carter's number one. Why?
Here's the thing with Carter,
Oh shit.
and don't get me wrong, I still love Carter. As someone who actually mains Carter from time to time, I still love Carter. I feel like if you can play Carter, you can play anybody on this goddamn game. Carter actually can make you a better defender. You just use them, but just people don't want to do that.
Yep.
The thing with Carter is they gave him really good skills, which I've been saying in order to like make him be able to compete with the rest of the small forwards, you're going to have to give him something OP for a P6. The problem is, I think you mentioned this in your tier. I don't know if it was either your tier list or your Carter video. You mentioned this. Him having dash steal and dash intercept is good, but the problem is the one skill he does not have to make it work is he needs diving catch. Without diving catch, it is still a 50-50 chance that you are not going to get that ball after you do that animation.
Mm-hmm.
That's the downside to it. And after playing a couple of games, running with him, I've tried out everything on him, even A pass. Honestly, A pass might be the best skill for him.
That's fucked up.
Which is crazy. I know, right? It's crazy, but it's like for what Carter does, and I've always said this: if you're going to run Carter, you have to run impaired on him. Like if you're not running impaired, then you're taking away. Then his face up is useless. You need impaired for his face up to work. Um, if you don't run, how can I put this? The fact that you can't get the ball automatically without diving catch after you do the dash or the intercept, it doesn't work as well for him. And what he wants to do is he is somebody who wants to press a defender, so he always has their hand in the face. In order for you to do dash steal, you have to play off that character. You can't press a character and get the dash steal off. It doesn't work. You're out. You're basically going to be out of range to do it. The intercept thing is kind of weird because he already has a regular intercept on him, which is actually really good. He just has the regular, like, so now I gotta, instead of just playing the passing lane like I normally would, just doing the side shuffle shit, I hold O. And then even when I do that, it's still not guaranteed that I'm gonna get that ball. I'll probably get a tip animation off, but it's not guaranteed that I'm gonna get the ball off of it.
Yep.
And of course, you know, with the P6, there's no cards to buff the P6 ability, and his tree, none of his tree has
Doesn't support the
none of his
skills.
trees doesn't support any of his skills. So it's like, yeah, these skills are OP, they're good, but for him, A pass might be the best option. And then people's like, well, he already has kill pass. I'm like, kill pass and A pass are two different skills. Kill pass is really good for close range passes. A pass is good for long range passes. So as long as it's certain animations that you're looking for. Now, I've only played a few games with him on A pass, so I hadn't really tested it out enough to really give detailed information. But there's two things that I'm looking for when I'm running it. As long as I don't get a pass animation on a short range pass, I'm cool. That's the main thing that I'm looking for, because A pass has a long windup. It's good from long distance if you're trying to beam a ball for it. It's perfect for that. But I don't need a long windup A, because that's, what is it that Ayla does it in her MVP scene. It's that wind up bounce pass. That is a animation that A pass has on short distance pass. It's a long windup. You don't want that pass on a short pass. Kill pass like instantly beams that ball to you. So as long as it gives me the animations that I want in certain situations, that's going to be his best skill. The only other thing that they could have put on him, that manual or shadow steal. But again, if they're not really giving you anything in that tree to help it, that's where I'm leaning. So that's why I have Carter. That's why I have Carter number one. They gave him good skills. I'm surprised at what they gave him.
Yep.
But at the same time, when you're trying to implement, when you're trying to use it, it takes away from what he was built to do, which is basically be a lockdown, aggressive perimeter defender.
Yeah.
Like, he is supposed to press his opponent. He's supposed to keep a hand in his face. Doing dash steal basically takes away from what he's designed to do. You're basically trying to turn him into something else. And he doesn't have dive and catch to help with those, with that type of aggressive play. So that's my thing with him. Now, as far as his fit, they cook. They cook with that Olympic gold trotter outfit that you could take off and it puts on his retro jersey. Like, they cook with that outfit. I ain't gonna lie. They cook with it. So, like, what's funny is, like, when I'm playing with, and it's like, if I feel like they kind of cooking me a little bit, I'm like, all right, let me get serious. I'm gonna take these warm-ups off. And you running around in that retro jersey, which is hilarious to see him in. So I'm like, they cook with him. I'm not mad at what they gave him. I just, after playing with him, pause, it's just, I'm like, nah, he should have got manual block or shadow steal, or at least give him something on his tree, which his perimeter tree is actually really good. I'm not mad at that. He gets more speed, more normal movement speed. He gets ankle break resist, actually a decent amount of ankle break resist. I think it's like 16%, if I'm not mistaken, which is really good. And an additional 2% on imped. So they cook. My thing is, why couldn't they give that tree to Lil Fox? But I guess that'd be too much like doing the right thing. It is what it is.
All right. My list is all of them are as Carolina one.
Wow.
Carolina won. Her ass won. She got a good P6 and a good P7. That's fucked up. That couldn't be me.
She does. She really, they cook. I'm not mad at the Carolina man. Actually, the manual block thing still throws me off a little bit. because if I'm not mistaken, I think her P7, P6 came out before they gave the shooting guard buffs.
Yeah.
So I'm like, she's not even a defensive character, but I'm like, you couldn't give that to Nadia? But then at the same time, Nadia don't really have a high either. And on top of that, Nadia needs that face. So it's like, I'm like, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, they got it. Somebody got to get manual block, I guess.
Yeah. I was really hoping for
I
like
don't
a
know.
new character to get manual block. I didn't really want an older. I mean, like, I would have had no problem if it was Carolina getting manual block, but if it was just after a new character. So that's where I kind of felt some type of way. But overall, you know, she kind of beats all four of them. You know, that's
Because
fucked
she's like,
up.
what, the only shooting guard with manual block now?
And Fred.
That's right. Fred does have it.
Yeah.
Fred does. But why would, but it's like, his Sham God is really good on him.
His Sham God is blocky.
But here's the thing, though. He has the longest, if you can cross somebody, he has the longest cross animation out of all the characters.
Yeah.
If you get it maxed out. Like, I've always, like, Ayla always had the best Sham God because she had a long crossover. Well, ankle break duration. That's what it's called. The ankle break duration. Hers is so super fucking long. His is better than hers. The only problem with his is if you try to, it's not good if you're trying to use it to attack the paint. That's the only thing. Is like you have to give it a second. Like especially if you're trying to spam his layup, you have to like give it a second before you do it. Because if you don't, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of weird on him. But it's like part of me like wants to switch to manual block too, just so I got a little bit more defense on him. Like I always said, manual block is an overrated skill, but it's not a bad skill to have. Because you definitely need it, especially if you're going to be running against Ox Queens and Genizar, goddamn. Which, because of these patch notes, definitely been an uptick in Ox Queen gameplay as of late, and I'm hating it. It's like I love it and I hate it at the same time.
Yes, sir. We are back. We are back with that shit. But what we're going to do is actually going to round it up. You know how this one's going to go. We get to ask you a question, and you got to tell us about the answer to that question, and, you know, we'll see if it's actually true or not. So, I remember one time in your video, you said, I'm still about my trap shit, but on my Jesus shit, though. What does that mean?
Wait, what? What video I said that?
I don't know. You tell me.
I've never said that. If I
I'm
said
not that
that
dark.
might have been quoting lyrics from a. I
Say
don't even,
quoting lyrics, but like you said it.
nah, I need to see
I'm
video
on my
proof of this.
trap
You need
shit,
to.
but still on my Jesus shit, though. What does that mean?
I've never said that.
But you be doing it on the side.
That don't even sound like anything I've ever
Sound
said.
like you today in 2026.
I mean, if anything, I mean, I can translate the meaning of it for you, but I know I've never said that. That
Okay,
just
could you
means,
translate
look,
the meaning?
I'm a righteous man. I'm definitely for my people. I'm righteous always. I'm a godly man.
Mm-hmm.
But that don't mean I'm soft.
Mm-hmm.
that don't mean you're not gonna catch these hands. Like I'm a firm believer, but I will beat your ass. That's what that means. Like I keep two pair of Everlast just in case anybody want to test them.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like these hands are legit. Like I box. It ain't no secret. Like I got a blue and a pick what color you want to wear.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll determine what type of ass whooping you're gonna get.
Mm-hmm.
And I will still shake your hand and bless you right afterwards.
Mm-hmm. Yo.
That's again, never said that. But if you want to translate it, that's what that means.
Oh, okay. Let's just make sure. I believe you. All right, guys. Well, that's pretty much it for this podcast. I think we, wanted to talk about everything that we want to talk about and put out there. You guys should go ahead and check out D-Money's channel. It'll be linked in the description per usual. I will tend to get more people on here. I think what we're going to do is we're probably going to make the freestyle podcast every 3 months, right? Do it the same way as joycity does it with characters, right? I think that's a good time to see, everything that would probably be implemented, if it's small or big, or if it's worthy of talking about. We're still going to get the per usual of round table.
I think that's about how often they do a balance patch too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it does seem to be that way, but it seems to be like the major ones kind of lead towards in the summer, end of the
Mhm.
like end fall, start of winter. So that's the interesting part. But that is it. There's nothing else to talk about. Everybody click out this video. Fuck you. Be sure to subscribe and like the video. Again, check out D-Money's channel because he ain't doing much anyway. And we are out. Peace.
And if you main ox queen, fuck you.
On God.